Shalom, welcome to my collection of Etrogim. Those who were in my office and who visited me probably were wondering what are all these things that I have by my, on one of my shelves in the library in my office. And these are the Etrogim that mostly my family and I used throughout the last 20 years. Sometimes congregants give them to me also, and I put them to dry. And the Etrog is very unique in the fact that it doesn't rot. You have it shrinks, maybe because it has very, very little liquid inside. It shrinks and gets hard, and you can keep it for 20 years and it's in perfect shape. So I collect them here. I filled one basket and I have another one here, and sometimes I change the baskets, but I keep moving the Etrogim from one to the other. I have some Etrogim that are very old. This one I think is from Virginia, from Roanoke. I used to have one from the Dominican Republic. Let me see if I can find it. I think this small one is a very old one from the Dominican Republic that I still carry here. And I have inside my Etrog box the one from last year. And I know you cannot smell through the camera, but you can believe me that it still smells like Sukkot. And I look forward to my new Etrog that comes every year, so I put this one when my new comes, and I put the new one in my box. My mother, may she live and be well, passed me the love of the flower of lavender. This is my favorite flower, and that's her favorite flower. And probably part of that love of lavender is that where she grew up in the south of Argentina, there were many flowers and plants of lavender. And the pastime for her and her sister was to take the flowers, to make them dry, or just to put them in little sachets of pockets of cloth, and to sew them and to put them in the closet to freshen the clothes. So sometimes when I see them, or I see someone is selling them, I buy them. I have a few, but after 2 months, 3 months, I go back and I smell them, and they smell like cloth. There is no lavender there. And yet, this Etrog, and all the Etrogim, if I were to smell all of them, you can still smell the Etrog from many, many, many years. I am sure there is something special in the Etrog that makes it smells so beautifully even after 15 or 20 years. But I like to believe that it's the connection with the mitzvah. I like to believe that when we do a mitzvah, in this case the mitzvah of the Arbat Aminim, of the 4 species, and the Etrog reminds us of this particular mitzvah, and maybe the Etrog symbolizes all the mitzvah. I like us to suggest that when we do a mitzvah, when we establish a connection with Hashem, with the Jewish people, through a particular act, through a particular action, I like to believe that we carry the essence of the mitzvah with us. Maybe if the mitzvah is a little dry after 2, 3, or 10 years. Maybe we lit candles 10 years ago when we were in camp, or 15 years ago, when we were children in Jewish day school or in the Hebrew school, or we chanted the Manishtana when we blew the shofar. And maybe right now our lives are in a different place. They are a little drier. And yet I like to believe that somehow, somewhere in our mind, in our soul, in our memory, this particular connection exists. And all that is necessary is to ignite it again. to bring it again to life by maybe just doing it one more time, twice or 3 times. That's why I'm a big fan of getting my own lulav and etrog, and getting each of my children their own lulav and etrog. My wife sometimes says, it's why can't they use yours? It's like $40 a set, or $35 a set. We can all share, And I know that some people in the shul think the same way. I'm going to share that. What I'm going to do with it after that. We also have members who should be, I don't know if you are surprised, that they buy their lulav and etrog and they use it once. They don't come, sometimes even they don't come and pick it up. They pay for it and it stays here. Sometimes they come and say, they come after the holidays to pick it up, when I guess they cannot use it any longer, or the time passed, or maybe just they use it once and they left it, they leave it here and then they don't pick it up. I still like the idea of everybody feeling a connection. To say, I want to invest in the holiday, I want to invest in this Arbat Aminim. I want to feel a connection. It's something I can smell, it's something I can touch, something I can see. And maybe something I can take with me for the next year. Maybe it's going to sustain me. The smell of this etrog is going to sustain me for 1 year, 2. Who knows, maybe that's what is going to keep me Jewish throughout the years. So I just have them in my office to remind me of my collection, to remind me of my special connection with Hashem. I know I cannot put them with my clothes. I don't know if this is going to be very, it's an idea that Sylvia would like a lot, but I have it here in my office. So if you would like to stop by during this Sukkot, or after Sukkot, or before Sukkot, and we can talk a little about how getting your own lulav and etrog can make a difference in your Jewish life. And by the way, feel free to come to me. I will try to get some instructions for everybody, so we can fulfill this wonderful mitzvah in the Torah. Chag Sameach, and looking forward to seeing you at Hillcrest. Kol Tov.